What do you do when you've lost your way? When you've lost your way? I'm asking that question because it's relevant in this day and time, In this day and time when there's so much going on in the background, When you have lost your way. I just don't know of any human being on this planet that hasn't ran into that question. Trying to figure out what the next move is, what's the plan, you know what I mean, to try to get back on track when we've lost our way. When you've lost your way, I really have had scenarios in my life where, I was trying to figure out, what do I do next? Where do I go next? How do I proceed going forward? And sure, I'm always turning to my higher power. And sure, I'm always believing. I stay believing. And I learned about myself. I learned a lot about myself in that time that I never quit. I never quit. And I don't believe you do either. I don't believe you have quit in you either, You got a windy day going on. Windy day going on. But yeah, what do you do when you've lost your way? You have to do things in steps in life. You have to take time to say, okay, well, step 1, 2, and 3, steps A, B, and C. And have to do things in small, increments. Have to. One thing we cannot do, we cannot start out the gate worrying. We cannot worry. We can't let worry be the one thing that's guiding us. Can't let doubt be the one thing that's guiding us, because we'll never find our way that way. It's almost like a map, and we have to redraw that map sometimes in life, just like we have to do a personal review. And when you're trying to find your way and get back on track and get things going in that positive direction, then in order to redraw that map, we have to have a destination. What do we want out of life? What do we really want out of life? And that changes from time to time, At one point in life, you knew you wanted to do this, like when we were kids, right? You remember you wanted to be this, your mind was made up, And then by the time that was when you were 7. Then by the time you was 12, you wanted to do this. And who knows, it might change later on by the time you get 17 and 18 through life experiences, right? Through life experiences, But at that point in time, you have choices. And you have to know that you have choices now. Even when it seems like we don't, we have choices. And we have to look over our choices and decide which direction is best for us to go now. Not yesterday and what would have looked good yesterday, but what about right here and right now? When you've lost your way, drawing that roadmap, trying to revamp things, trying to revise how we see things, because it starts in our mind. It starts with our mindset. It starts with determination and vigor and, robustness. You know what I mean? You got to do it. Believing in yourself. Number one thing, working on believing in oneself. And when we say working on believing in oneself, it may seem like it's a foregone conclusion, but that changes to course of time as well. If we have lost our way, obviously there's been other changes that have occurred within the realms of our lives. And so we have to make sure and reground ourselves and believing in ourselves and knowing there's nothing we can't do. And so believing in ourselves is the beginning, starting point. And in knowing that we can do anything, having that faith, and when we talk about the higher power, do we believe in our higher power to get us over the finish line? But I always believe that if we put in work and work hard and show God, in my case, how bad you want it, He will take you the rest of the way. And that has been my life experience. And even as I sit here now, I'm showing God how bad I want it, because there's been times I've lost my way. And just as of recent, I was in a scenario where I had lost my way. And I'm still on that road, to getting where I want to be in life, I realized for me, And I know that as human beings overall, we want happiness. We want joy. You know, we want all of the foundations of happiness and joy. And without it, you know, we will always feel lost. You know what I mean? We'll always feel like we're in a search. See, and that's another thing too, is when you find yourself in love with the chase of things, you know what I mean? In love with the chase of money, in love with the chase of fame, in love with the chase of, you know, things that we think are the here and now, the popular thing that's here and now, even though it has nothing to do with our personal growth, our personal lives, our personal strides, our personal, you know, achievements, and us getting to the next level of life. Can't try to live other people's lives and can't try to emulate others when our journeys are different. It's no different than someone being at a slot machine, and I've seen it happen before. Someone put in thousands of dollars and they were just determined, knowing that money is going to come back. It's going to come, it's going to come, it's going to come. And to that last dollar, you know, and then someone sits down, first spin, jackpot, jackpot. But see, it was meant for them. It was meant for them. We cannot emulate others, and we cannot, you know, try to figure out things ahead of time, you know, before it even happens. We have to create our own destinies. And therefore, we have to also be smart about how we go about things, and we cannot fall in love with the chase, you know? I really have learned too that emotion plays a big part in us, you know, finding our way. Emotion plays a huge role, and, you know, sometimes we feel certain ways, or we have been through certain experiences that have affected our emotional state, and which also affects our psychological state, our mental state, and how we're going to trust our decision making when we're not really there. You know what I mean? We're not fully there and fully capable to make the right decision and trust our decision. And when we're taking emotional hits, it's going to affect our decision. We may make a decision on hastiness. We make a decision on just that emotional downfall, and you know, it more than likely will not be the right decision. It would not be the move that's gonna, you know, allow us to find our way. You know, being in that forest, right? Being in that forest of life, and we're just trying to get out of that forest, trying to get out of that jungle, trying to find our way out of a storm into the sunshine. You know, nothing more beautiful than a sunny day. Nothing more beautiful than sunshine. I love it to see that smile on my face, right? That's me thinking about that sunshine. I love sun. I love sunshine. It just, you know, warms my heart and brings like my fuel, you know what I mean? Samson needed his hair. For me, you know, my hair is sun. That's where I get my energy from. That's where I get my, you know, vitality from. The thing that just guides me and pushes me forward each and every day, you know. And even on a rainy day, I'm not worried, because I know at some point that sun will come out. That sun will come out. And I use that time, as opposed to me waiting on the sun, I use that time for planning. I use that time for, you know, working on what I can work on. You know what I mean? We're never stuck to not be able to make moves. We're never stuck to not be able to be active in having a role in our own play. You know? Somebody got a right to play out. We're the authors of our own books. And if we don't have that pen moving constantly, then that story is never going to be told. It's never going to be, you know, written. And so therefore, we always have to be on the move. I always have to keep it moving, you know. When we have lost our way, I always say that, and I mean this from my heart, that nothing is more glorious than when you can have other human beings on board with you to help you find your way. And not everyone is privy to that, you know. And sometimes other human beings are the reason we might have lost our way and stay lost because we're going down their path, or, somehow we've gotten ourselves going down a road that's not designed for us specifically, you know what I mean? And I had to learn that the hard way. I've been there. I've been down roads where I was living other people's lives. I've been down roads where I was doing things I didn't want to do. I was engaging in things I didn't want to engage in because that's how we roll. That's how we roll. But for me personally, I was just falling further and further back. I didn't believe in it. I started to lose faith in myself individually. And then, things started going the wrong direction, And before I know it, I looked up and they were this far ahead and I'm this far back. And no one's coming back to get me. You know what I mean? No one is coming back to get me. So I'm out there trying to, I'm out there in the waters trying to wade through it on my own, And sometimes we can get blinded by that individually, individual journeys, And I would love to, like I said, have, a village, have that village that's on the same path you're on, and everybody has the same, destination and desires for life, joy and happiness. That joy and happiness, right? I remember being from the projects, and the thing I would say why I would never change that is because despite all of the things that come with, being from the projects, we all had something in common. We all had something in common. We all, had, a desire for a better life. We all had impoverished backgrounds, but we also had our joys. You know what I mean? We did. And we had this little field that was in that was in the middle where we used to play baseball. And it'd be, different families, everybody getting together, whatever. And then we have two teams and we play each other. Everybody's having a great time. And it was just fun. It was fun. And it was that time of release, But everyone on that field, in that dugout, sitting on that sideline, being a witness, we all had that common bond. And that made it, something that we could hold on to. And so we seen each other from day to day, passing each other and passing in life. We all had that common bond, and we knew, that no matter what, we were sharing the same space of life. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean by that village, going in the same direction. And we had hope for each other. Hope that, someone is getting things work out for them and they're moving out. Nobody's jealous. They're saying, I'll be next, and congratulations. Might even help them load up the truck, you know what I mean? Give them hugs and everything, have a little crowd around them. Congratulations. When you've lost your way, don't quit. You can never quit. You got to keep believing, and you got to keep striving, and you got to keep knowing that, nothing can stop your progress. Nothing can stop your growth. Nothing can stop you from getting to where you want and need to be. You deserve joy and happiness. You do. And if you were born, then obviously you deserve joy and happiness. You weren't born here to be, struggling all the time. You weren't born here to just always be frustrated, born to be always having to try to figure out each and every day, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Now we find ourselves in those positions as human beings, and that's natural. It's understandable. No reason to come down on ourselves, make mistakes. We're human beings. You can go on and on and on. We're human beings. We're not going to be perfect, and we're not always going to get it right. And so when we know that and when we accept that, it allows us even more energy to keep believing in ourselves. Stay on that horse, right? Stay on that journey. Ride that train to your level of success. When we've lost our way. When you have lost your way, know that I believe in you. Someone believes in you. God believes in you. Your higher power, whomever it may be, believes in you. But more importantly, you have to believe in yourself when you've lost your way. Wish you well on your journey, and I know you're going to be successful in everything that you seek to do. And whenever you fall short, just remember, only because I'm human. You know what I mean? It's the only reason. And so let me get back at it. Let me get back at it when you've lost your way. Take care.